Good morning, students. I'm your English teacher. This is Jyoti Agarwal, who's going to teach you English. Apart from formal introduction, let's come on directly to our course books. We'll be starting your course with your textbook, The Hornbill. So please open your first chapter of your book, The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh is a very well-known writer. He is not only an author but also a lawyer, journalist, politician, and a critic. You know, as the title indicates, The Portrait of a Lady, this is a description about a lady, and this lady is none other than Khushwant Singh's grandmother. We all share a kind of love bond with our grandparents, and it changes with course of time. When we are young, we share a different kind of relation. As we grow old, we share a different kind of relationship with them. Same way, Khushwant Singh also shared that kind of relationship with his grandma. So he is describing that relationship, how it changes with course of time. Now let's coming back to our chapter. I'll be reading it, describing the text to you, and you underlining the word meanings. So you please side by side keep on underlining the word meanings, which I'm going to tell it to you. Let's start with the chapter. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. Please underline hard to believe. Now here the author is describing his grandmother, just as we all have grandparents. So he says that I also have a grandmother, like everybody has. She's old woman. Our grandparents are old. So she's old lady with wrinkled face, and for past 20 years he has seen his grandmother like that with wrinkled face. People said that once she was pretty young and very pretty, and she even had a husband. Probably her husband is dead now. So he is not believing this fact. Hard to believe here reflects that author is not able to accept this fact as a truth, that his grandmother was once very young, pretty, and had a husband, because he has never seen them. Now, my grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at the least 100 years old. He did not look the sort of person who would have a wife or children. Now secondly, he gave the description of his grandfather, and his grandfather is no more, and his picture is above the mantelpiece. Mantelpiece, underline this word, mantelpiece. A mantelpiece is a place where a structure of wood, marble, or something like that above the fireplace, where we used to keep some decorative items, or maybe something to keep a kind of a shelf above it. So above there was a big picture of his grandfather, from where he recognized him, and he saw him wearing a turban on his head and wearing loose fitting clothes, and his white beard was covering the chest part. So he is not again believing this fact that his grandfather might have some children, or his wife was there once. He could only imagine that old fellow with grandchildren only. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. So this child mind, he can only believe that grandfather could only have grandchildren, not wife and children. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. As for my grandmother being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. She often told us of the games she used to play as a child that seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like the fables of the prophets she used to tell us. Please underline, the thought was almost revolting. absurd and undignified. Now, this author, this thought was almost revolting. Refers to that he was not able to believe this fact that his grandmother was young and pretty. So that's why he called that this thought was revolting. So his grandmother might be telling them the stories of this childhood, that they used to play games. So this child was again not believing. He find it very absurd. Absurd refers to very illogical, and undignified means unrespectful. He's not finding it right that his grandmother was once playing the games as a child. As we don't believe the stories, we consider stories as imaginative things. So just as the grandmother used to tell him the stories of prophets, saints, so he is not believing that stories to be as true. Same way he is not believing the stories of his grandmother childhood. She was once very young and she used to play. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of lines running from everywhere to everywhere. So again, another description about his grandmother. Children, kindly pay attention towards this thing. Wherever we are finding the description of grandmother, grandfather, please pay attention towards the adjectives which are describing either his grandmother, grandfather, their relation. Keep on marking those words in your mind so that whenever a kind of questions arises regarding their description, you'll be able to answer it. So again, he is describing the appearance, the way she was short, fat, slightly bent. Slightly bent here refers to when old people are not able to walk with their body erect, their body bends due to old age. So she used to walk with slight bend. Her face was having crisscross of wrinkles. We all know that with the old age, many wrinkles came on the face. So this, according to the child imagination, he is referring that a lot of crisscross of lines were there on the face. No, we were certain she had always been as we had known her. So the child was believing that she was just like that, the way he has considered her, the way she used to look 20 years ago and just now. So he is believing that this was the real looks of his grandmother. He could not imagine her to be young and pretty. Okay, now coming into the next page. Old, so terribly old that she could not have grown older. I hope the text is clear to you. Fine. So old, so terrible old that she could not have grown older and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. She could never have been pretty, but she has always beautiful. Now, from 20 years, the lady looks have not changed. She was just like that. And see the way the author is using that he could never imagine her to be very pretty or young, but he considered her beautiful. Beautiful here words reflect the beauty in the eyes of a child, the love we shared for his grandmother. So he considers grandmother as beautiful but not as pretty. She hobbled about the house in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop, and other telling resting on her waist to balance her stoop, and other telling the beads of her rosary. Now she used to hobbled about, underline this word hobbled about, spotless white and rosary. Hobbled about means when the person is not able to walk properly, he walks in a very awkward way. So she used to walk like that. With spotless white, she is a widow, so she might be wearing white color clothes, and one hand resting on her waist to balance the bend in his body, and other telling the beads of her rosary, and in one hand she was holding a string of beads. Rosary here refers to just as elderly people used to hold a string with a lot of beads, with number of beads in it, and they used to chant. We have seen our elderly people at home also, they were chanting some prayers, religious prayers, and they are counting those beads. So she was also holding that rosary. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face. Please underline this, puckered face. And her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayers. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountain, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. So many words to underline here. Please underline inaudible, the expression, and the phrase, an expanse of pure white serenity, contentment. Now let's start explaining this. Now her silver locks were scattered untidily over. Her silver locks refers to her white hair. So he's referring those hair as silver locks, and they were very untidily scattered over a pale, puckered face. Puckered face here refers to a face which is contracted with wrinkles. See how the author is using different words to express the old age of that lady. The same kind of description we need when we are describing a personality, or we are giving a description of any person in detail. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Now she is very beautiful according to the author, with her white hair, with her puckered face. As I told you, the puckered face means that it was having a contract of the wrinkles, and her lips all the time moving in inaudible prayers. Inaudible means which he is not able to hear. So the prayers she was making continuously, so he considered her beautiful. She was like a winter landscape in the mountain. Now winter landscape in a mountain, just as winters are very beautiful in mountains with a lot of snow over the mountains covered with, and it gives you a very peaceful look of the surroundings. That's why he refers her as an expanse of pure white serenity. It refers to calm, relaxed and peaceful character of the author's grandmother. And this breathing peace and contentment refers to that contentment is a kind of state of happiness or contentment one feels. So his grandmother was having that serene looks, very peaceful kind of looks, calm looks, just as a mountain landscape has that serene and calm looks. So he compares the look of his grandmother like that. Coming on to the next paragraph. My grandmother and I have good friends. My grandparents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. Now there's a turning point in their life. Now they were very both of them were very friendly at this moment. They both were very good friends, because author's parents have left from there and they were living in the city, and they were constantly together. Both of them were together all the time. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. This grandmother was helping him out to get up in the morning. She make him ready for the school. She said her morning prayers in a monotonous sing-song while she bathed, and dressed me in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. I listened because I love her voice, but never bothered to learn it. Now, the author was sharing a relationship with his grandmother where she was taking care of the author. Parents were out to the city, so she was taking care of his daily routine, taking him to the school, getting him ready for school, everything she was doing. And this child was continuously with the company of his grandmother, and all the time she is saying morning prayers, singing to him when he was bathing, dressing him up so that he could learn some. But child is not bothered to learn those prayers. He only loved the voice of his grandmother, so he was listening it. And then what she used to do, then she would fetch my wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen pot and a red pen, tie them all in a bundle and hand it to me. Now what she used to do, she used to take a wooden slate which she had already washed, plastered with yellow chalk. He covered it with plaster. Earlier now, this kind of things were used in schools. This author is very old fellow.